All right, good morning, everybody. Hope all is well with you today. Today is August 26th, Monday, the last Monday in August. I cannot believe things have gone by so fast this month. Myself, particularly, I've been pretty busy. As you can see, I'm at another conference, but coming to you through my laptop. One of the great things about COVID, if there's a great things, is the ability for us to just work and do so much remotely, which is really convenient for a lot of people. So certainly that's one of the reasons why I'm here today is Zoom and giving you an update. I want to give a shout out. Thank you for the folks that are listening on the podcast. So I've run into a couple people that listen to this on the podcast. I think it's fabulous. If there's anything anybody wants me to talk about, let me know. But thanks for listening on the podcast and thanks for being with us here today. So just setting up, as you know, I try to monitor Facebook on my other device. Sometimes I think I have too many devices. I think a lot of people have too many devices, but that's the world we live in. And really just happy to be connecting today, August 26th. Uh, Not much has been going on since the governor signed all the bills a couple weeks ago. So just giving you a little bit of heads up, a little bit of news, maybe run down some headlines for you and put you on your merry way to this last day in August. Kids are back in school. I hope everybody had a great start to the school year. I know teachers, talking to a couple teachers, they're excited about the school year. And just I know that our kids and our teachers, our specifically our teachers, need to be thanked for all the prep work that they do to get these kids up and ready to go first day of school and have them educated. Very important to have an educated workforce. Very important to have educated people overall. Definitely, I support our public schools and hope everybody's doing well. I know a couple moms out there might be like, kids are back in school. I can get back to my normal routine throughout the day. And that's always good too. Don't get me wrong. So wonderful. Hope again, everybody's getting ready for Labor Day over the weekend. The official, all the schools closed down, the official end of summer and the beginning of fall, even though fall doesn't really start till a couple weeks after Labor Day. Um, Speaking of fall, but speaking of summer, heat advisory is in effect until 8 p.m. today. Excessive heat watch is in effect from Tuesday afternoon to Tuesday evening. So really be careful with the heat. The other day, I saw some kids walking a dog, a beautiful German Shepherd, and the poor dog was not walking on the cement, was picking up its feet all the time. That's because the cement is really hot on the dog's feet even though they do have the pads and they are, you know, they are pretty much their shoes. But hot asphalt surfaces, hot concrete, especially in this time, just be careful of the dogs. Don't really walk them out on the sidewalk if need be. Try to walk them in the grass and save their paws from extreme heat. So, heat advisory Monday. Heat index are supposed to be 105 to 108. They're expected for the excessive heat watch on Tuesday. Dangerously hot conditions with the index values of 110 to 115 possible. And that's pretty much, our area of Illinois, mostly central, north central, northeast Illinois. So, really be careful. The heat and the humidity can really affect individuals. So when I was in the military, when we would have this, it would be a Black Flag Day. Black Flag Day meant no exercise PT outside at all, and to make sure that we were all conditioned and drinking excessive amounts of water. So definitely drink water. Be careful if you are doing outdoor activities and really heat stroke and heat related illnesses can be deadly. They really can be deadly. So watch the Weather Channel. Again, drink lots of water. Stay in air conditioning as you can. Stay out of the sun. Check in on your friends and family. It's super important. Again, young children, pets. I know it's a heat advisory. Should never really be left unattended in vehicles, really under any circumstances. So, um, hot, cold, it's just not right. So don't do it. But especially it's super duper warm. Car interiors can reach lethal temperatures in a matter of minutes, a combination of seconds. So don't do it. Just don't do it overall. Now, if you need to swing by my office, we are air conditioned. But there are cooling centers to get out of the warm heat. Senior Services on Plum Street in Aurora, Kendall County Public Safety Center on Cornell Road in Yorkville, Aurora Branch Libraries, all of them on the east side on Eola Road, downtown on River Street, and on Constitution on the west side. The Aurora Transportation Center. You can be there where all the trains are. It's a cooling center as well. And so definitely those are just some in the Aurora area. There are others, mostly public libraries, public facilities that are open. You can go in and cool off. If you are having issues with your air conditioning, please let either my office know or the city know. They can help out, potentially not with your air conditioning, but to help you be in a safe place during this extreme hot weather. Again, if your air conditioning is not working, call a friend, call a family relative, just get out on the heat. We did have last year, I think 6 individuals pass away from extreme heat in their apartments in a senior living, not in our area, in a different area closer in the city. So it's serious. It's serious. Be careful out there. A couple days of noting. We'll give you a couple things. Monday today, August 26th, Women's Equality Day. So this is about women's rights, and although there's still work ahead, in 1919, Illinois became the first state in the nation to ratify the 19th Amendment. And today, we still continue to fight for all women backgrounds and looking at strengthening protections, women's reproductive rights, gender-based violence, and the like. But today is the first state to ratify the 19th Amendment. We should be proud of that in our Illinois history. Now, Thursday, very great day, August 29th, is the Marine Corps Reserve birthday. Now, I was in the Marine Corps active duty. We do rely on our reserve components in case of war or hostilities. They get called up at various different times throughout the year for different campaigns. So, Marine Corps Reserve birthday. So, August 29th, 1916, at the height of World War I, the Marine Corps Reserve's mission is to reinforce and bolster active duty Marine units around the world. During peacetime, they are in their communities leading the initiatives such as Toys for Tots, which we will be a Toys for Tots drop off this year as well. Every year has been. So happy birthday, Marine Corps Reserve birthday. Now, on a somber note, August 35th, which is Saturday, is International Overdose Awareness Day. Again, it should be every day. I don't know why we just do a one-day thing, but we need to be cognizant of overdose. International Overdose Awareness Day, according to the World Health Organization, more than 600,000 individuals die of a drug overdose in 2019. That's the most recent data we have. Every overdose is a tragedy, and there is a lot that can be done. In the state of Illinois, in fact, we increased our budget to help those with addictions and have programs to keep them off drugs and clean and sober. So you can call the national hotline 800-662-4357 for more information, or if you're struggling with substance addiction or abuse. Now, again, there's a lot of programs that are sponsored by the state of Illinois to combat addiction. Addiction is a health crisis. It's not really oh, for lack of a better word, conscious choice after a point in time. So maybe the first try addictive drugs is a choice, but down the line, your body and your mental state needs to have it. It's an addiction. The chemistry in your brain actually changes with addiction drugs. So I know that there is individuals like, oh well, they chose to be an alcoholic, they chose to be an addict. No, not necessarily. It does change the wiring in your brain, and we need to help with that. So Illinois is put more funding to addiction services and helping people get back on track. I know that there are a lot of organizations that are passing out Narcan that helps if somebody's having an overdose episode to help save their lives. Now, one would think, like I would think, why would I need to carry Narcan or why would we have Narcan around? You know, it can happen anywhere. And an individual I knew was carrying it, and somebody had an overdose attack on a bus. Can you believe that? Just on a bus. Um, and they were able to help him out. So you never know when it's going to be needed. And so it's always good to have it around. I know the King County Health Department passes them out. The health department passes these out so that individuals can be ready if there's an episode or if they are aware of something happening, that they can intervene and stop somebody from passing away from an overdose. It certainly happens. I've heard that it does happen sometimes when somebody's been clean and sober for a long period of time and then they relapse and then they relapse with the same amount that they were using before they got clean and sober, and the body believe it or not, builds up that um, tolerance of it, and so they don't have that anymore, and that happens as well. One of the we've seen it, we see it all the time. Matthew Perry, I just watching a refund of Friends, struggled with addiction too. So definitely need to be diligent and have conversations with regards to that. So what what's going on? So we have some new laws. So we're talking about the school year. And so it's a new school year. There are still some laws that will affect some of the classroom work that your kids will be looking to, whether it's in the preschool or whether it's towards the college level. There are changes that are affecting the educational school year this year. So one of them is Native American education. So this was signed into law last year, gets in effect this year. Public elementary and high schools will include a unit of Native American history in school during their social studies curriculum. So the school districts are actually in charge of what is taught in this curriculum. It could be different from school to school, depending, but the Illinois State Board of Education provides guidelines on how to develop and what to teach. So the lessons should detail Native American contributions in government and the arts, humanities, and sciences, as well as the contributions of Native Americans to the economic, cultural, social, and political development of their own nations and of the United States. Now, as you recall, we talked about the code walkers a couple podcasts ago, a couple Facebook lives. That's a huge contribution that they made to our security and to our country. So there's a lot of those things that aren't being talked about as much, to really embrace our history and embrace, the Native American history and education. So that's something that I think is really important so that we have a well-rounded curriculum with regards to what's being taught in history and social studies. Another one, this is fentanyl education. So high school students. So high school students are at a risk of trying recreational drugs. Unfortunately, the best parents in the world, sometimes we struggle with that peer pressure and that high school environment. So high school students will receive instruction on the dangers of fentanyl in health course. So in every state required health course, the curriculum will cover the legal and illegal forms of fentanyl, explain the reasons why it is often laced with other drugs such as cocaine and heroin. So you're saying, why are you teaching kids this information? Because if you don't talk to them about it, they don't know. And so we're trying to do knowledge. Now, this isn't um, glorifying drug use or anything like that. It's really just telling them the basics. Like fentanyl laced drugs. First of all, drugs, will can completely ruin your life, but fentanyl laced drugs can completely end your life. And again, in 2022 alone, we had 3,261 fatal opioid overdoses. That's in Illinois. And these overdoses were caused by synthetic opioids like fentanyl. And so we got I mean, 3,261 individuals passed away through overdoses. Their sons, their daughters, their moms, their dads, people that we love and we cherish in our families, and they died of overdose. And if we can prevent it, that's a huge thing. So we already talked about legacy status and being considered for an applicants in schools. We talked about that last time. Corporal punishment. Illinois has banned corporal punishment in public schools since 1994. However, believe it or not, you might believe it, that policy did not apply to private schools. So we passed a law to change that. So all non-public schools are now prohibited from corporal punishment, such as hitting, slapping, paddling students, placing a student in a physically painful position, and intentionally inflicting bodily harm on a student. So that will go effect January 1, 2025. In the schools as well, we'll have intentional downtime. Uh, Oftentimes is just a little bit of a break. So downtime reduces stress and actually keeps kids focused. If you overstress kids, overstimulate them with too much, they are going to shut down. So what this does is they give them some downtime during the school week. So 20 minutes a week, that's it, at least 20 minutes a week, 5 minutes, could be about 5 minutes a day if you want to do a school week, 20 minutes a week used to emphasize self-care and downtown in a way that will improve overall health. So that's another good positive thing. So for our kids to just, and that's always, I know adults do that too. They take a little break. Some people, might lay down for a minute or two during the weekends, during the week. I know that sometimes, during lunchtime, specifically when I was in the military, we had a break for lunch, and a couple of us would go out in our cars and literally just close our eyes for 5 minutes. Not really napping, just decompressing. And that would help us. Then we'd get up and go to lunch and finish the rest of the day. So it helps. It really does help. Everybody should do it overall. And then going into January, schools were required to have automated external defibrillators on the premises, both the school day and during extracurricular activities. They help revive someone that is suffering from sudden cardiac arrest, such as during a heart attack. They are required in fitness centers and gyms, including those in schools. Again, being on the ready. We do have young people that go into cardiac arrest at a high rate. Could be because they're using excessive amounts of energy drinks, could be family history, a lot of things. So making sure that schools are on hand if anything happens. Furthermore, in classrooms, the Illinois Emergency Management Agency and the Office of Homeland Security are talking about, making sure that all our kids are prepared for school. So schools deal with severe weather, transportation problems, digital safety, and even some violence. So Illinois has a program. Safe to Help Illinois is a tool to help keep our kids safe. Hundreds of schools in the state, they help children who experience bullying, mental health struggles, and those who see their peers may be struggling and have nowhere to turn. So, Safe to Help Illinois hopes to end the culture of silence and stigma surrounding these important issues. So, let your kids know that they can call, text, go to online help, email help at safe2helpillinois.com. Download the Safe to Help Illinois app. That's the number one thing you should do. I know young kids, they don't use a telephone. I don't even think they really text anymore. They do a lot of other things, but they do work with apps all the time. Safe to Help Illinois app. So since 2021, over 3,000 instances has been reported. Now, also, Weather alerts on cell phones, communication plans with family members, and drills at school are helpful if students are at school during a tornado or other event. But you need to look at and find out what the cell phone policy is for children's schools, because what happens is something happens, and then all these parents call all these kids' cell phones. And what that does is it takes away all the bandwidth and the important calls cannot get through. So if there is some sort of tragedy, weather, tornado with the school, find out the communication from the school if they send out notifications or e-blasts or something to that effect. Or if there's like a 1-800 line you can call for emergency communication. Because first of all, there are several schools and some classrooms that have a no cell phone policy. So even if you're trying to call your kid, if their cell phone is tucked away in their bag, they're not going to answer it. Secondly, it takes away all the bandwidth. So make sure you get in touch with your school and find out how to get weather alerts and communication so that you can be more informed if anything does happen in school. And then I know that like my daughter has a very strong passwords. Passwords on your devices need to be very strong and be extremely careful in what they're putting them in or not. So definitely work with kids as they start the school year. They're going to probably be like reached out to from various different things. Make sure they have very, very strong passwords. So that's pretty much my school, beginning of the school year. Um, talk and definitely want to make sure that everybody has a great time in school and doing great. So, switching to Illinois as a whole, as we end the summer season, we look at tourism. Now, we don't have the data from 2024 right now, but we do have the data from 2023. And we had record tourism growth. What does that mean for the state? Well, in one part, it means that people from other states are coming here and spending their money. Win-win. That's awesome that we can attract great people, good people traveling and coming to Illinois as well. Secondly, staycations. Individuals might be from up in our area, driving down to Starved Rock or Utica, or driving down to Shawnee National Forest. So National Park, awesome times. So tourism is really important. So we looked at different metrics. One of them is that people stayed longer when they were vacationing and visiting Illinois, and they spent a little bit more. So that was always great. Now, this is again last year. So what does this mean by the numbers? 112 million domestic and international visitors came to Illinois last year. 112 million visitors. They spent roughly about $47 billion with a B in 2023. Now, this is an increase of 1 million visitors and 3 billion spending from 2022. And this is based on our tourism economics that we have. So these figures look at, how much did revenue come to the state? So we get hotel tax revenue figures, $322 million. That's a 4.5 increase off of FY23. So that's great. We have millions and millions of visitors who are eager to come and visit our state. And that's wonderful not for not only the state, but the small businesses and the local communities. Overnight leisure stays increased 4.3%. So leisure travelers. So this would be folks that maybe are visiting from here to Southern Illinois, getting a room. So we are working very hard with regards to our investments in travel and tourism that helps all around restaurants, hotels, shops, everything around. So tourism is really, really important. Um, so one of the projects we're working on, the Route 66 Centennial is in 2026. So we are looking to create some festivals and some grant money for that and really embracing the history of Route 66 which really was the first road to take you all the way through the United States. So really looking forward to that. The second thing, we have a $20 million commitment to propel innovation and semiconductor uh, here in Illinois. So it's going to go to accelerate tech advancements, and this is aligned with the CHIPS and the Science Act. Now, the CHIPS and Science Act was signed into law on the federal level. And so it's great, again, that we're partnering with the federal level on these really robust programs. So we got a $20 million commitment to further elevate Illinois' position as the national leader in technology and innovation through the Venture Investment for Semiconductor Technology Advancement Initiative. I know that's a big, long title. It shortens to VISTA. You gotta love those acronyms from the military and the government. So, this is going to help with us, and we also us on the Illinois side put in $114 million to Illinois Innovation Venture Fund, Invent. That's cute, isn't it? So Vista, as I said before, venture investment for semiconductor technology advancement, um, is designed to reinforce the sectors and technology aligned with the Federal CHIPS and Science Act. What are we going to be looking at? Advancing computing and software, advanced materials, microelectronics, quantum science, and semiconductor manufacturing and packaging. So businesses that are focused on these technology sectors can submit an expression of interest via the DCEO, the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity website. So if you are a company in those sectors, there might be some additional funds for you to help out, to get things going, and to continue to have Illinois as a national leader in quantum computing and other next generation technologies. So I have to say, my generation, I'm now over 50. The technology changes are just inconceivable. If you would have told me back as a kid that, you can do everything you can on a phone, a cell phone, you can call, you can video, you can do, carry it around everywhere. It was incredible. So, the funniest thing, we see in our generation is giving kids a rotary phone and tell them how to use it, and they're completely blindsided. With a phone with a cord, going to a cordless phone. Remember, my mother walking around the house with her cordless phone. She thought that was really great that she didn't have the um, long 50-foot telephone cord that stretched throughout all different rooms of the house. And now cell phones, and now here video technology that I'm on today, just in my generation alone, I can only imagine to a degree what's happening in the future, and we have funding to put forward to getting us there. And then we talked a little bit about social equity cannabis dispensaries. There was a social equity loan program for social equity dispensaries, and that went out, that got awarded in the first round. A couple businesses in Illinois or one in Illinois, one in Oswego got a couple um, equity loan programs. So helping that out. Now, Friday was move-in day at Aurora University and a lot of other colleges. I saw a lot of postings online of parents sending their kids off to college. So I hope that it's a new chapter in the life for many students, but it's a new chapter in life for many parents too. So as you struggle with empty nesting and these new high school freshmen that are growing up and sharing their life, it's a transition. And they always say that, when we talk about mental health and wellness, you should always get a checkup at a transition time of your life. Now, my son, I was an empty nester pretty early because my son moved out pretty much a year after graduating high school and to be on her own. And then my son joined the Navy like 2 months after he graduated high school. So didn't quite have that university empty nester syndrome when you drop the kids off at college. Um, but it can hit people kind of hard. And reach out, talk to somebody, just get a little mental health checkup. You know, life is changing. Big life changes never hurts to just find somebody and be able to express yourself and your feelings. So it was a big move-in weekend around us, Northern Illinois University, the University of Illinois system, and many other colleges nationwide. So good luck to all those starting freshmen in their new chapter of their lives. So you might not realize that Illinois has centennial farms. So there are 50 centennial farms in Kane County, 5 in DuPage County, 92 in Will County, and 48 in Kendall County. What's a centennial farm, you say? A centennial farm is a program that honors generations of farmers who have worked and maintained family farms in Illinois. So to qualify to be a centennial farm, this status the agricultural property must have been owned by the same family of descendants for at least 100 years. So, there are 3 in Aurora, there's 1 in Naperville, and there's 7 in Oswego, just in our area alone. So, if you are a Centennial Farm, you will receive a road sign, uh, a certificate signed by the Director of Agriculture and the Governor, press release sent to the paper, and an invitation to Agriculture Day at the State Fair. Now, those are nice recognitions, but I think it's just incredibly awesome to have a family farm for at least 100 years in your family, living in the house that your ancestors lived in, and just that history is just so robust. So, so we have 11 Centennial Farms in our district. Overall, like I said, 50 Centennial Farms in King County, 5 in DuPage County, 92 in Will County, and 48 in Kendall County. Now, this last article, I think is really super cool. 3D printers. So when I think of 3D printers, I think of cubes and 3D diamonds and you can make a 3D printer. I have done a 3D print of a like a little dog, you know, these little things. But when you talk about 3D printing, the person doesn't think about home construction. So there is a massive 12-ton 3D printer that arrived in Cairo to construct a duplex on vacant land behind this village town's city hall. Now, if you Google this, you will see it in action. Um, it is a huge 3D printer, just huge, way up into the sky. It's guided by the computer, rendering layers of specialty concrete mix like toothpaste squeezed from a tube. So, it's for to accelerate affordable housing in the area. That area has been quite depressed, hasn't seen a new home constructed in 50 years. It's the first of its kind in the region. It's owned by Eminence Resource Inc., based in Harrisburg, which is about 80 miles north of Cairo. So, and the company is donating the duplex to the city. So, this is the first new home construction. The town has roughly 1,600 people, so it's not a very large town. And it's really exciting to get some affordable housing when this technology is available. Talking about technology. So it's just really I can't I mean you look at it, it's really cool. So there's a lot of rural towns that still operate public housing apartment complexes. They fall in disrepair repair and they can't really replace them that well. So this is really going to be the housing that children and parents need that's critical. 1 in 5 children in Cairo's pre-K district are considered homeless under the broad definition that includes kids who are unhoused, doubled up with friends and relatives, couch surfing, or living in hotels and other temporary accommodations. So this will really help. In addition to the 2 new housing units that is being used from this 3D printer, they are working on plans to fund the development of additional homes on the same lot. It is expected to take the 3D printer about 45 hours to construct a duplex's interior and exterior walls. The crews work with throughout the night over the next 2 weeks to complete the job. So then they have to bring in the laborers, the plumbers to do the finishing work, hanging drywall, finishers, painters, installing plumbing, electricity, flooring, other interior elements, kitchen, bathrooms, and all the like. So this just does the exterior mold. So it's just like I said, go Google it. So this company, they purchased a printer in response to the growing need for affordable housing in the region. And so now 3D printers can do more than like a little dog or whatever they can do in the little plastic form. They are building houses as well. And then we want to be excited. So way back in the day, my daughter went to preschool at Emmanuel Lutheran School, 551 Fourth Avenue. And and it closed for like 20 years. The school closed 20 years ago. And so the Aurora Housing Authority and Northern Light Development Corporation, they are reopening it as the Northern Lights Youth Center. So it's very exciting. And anytime you can take a vacant building that's been vacant for 20 years and put new life into it, just changes the whole neighborhood overall. So um, the former Emmanuel Lutheran School, 551 Fourth Avenue, is having a ribbon cutting today at 5 p.m. I am out of town, as you see, but if anybody wants to go and see this um, revigorating property after 20 years of being vacant, so it's going to be reopening as the Northern Lights Youth Center. Groups that provide programs and services at the center include the Fox Valley Park District, the Quad County Urban League, and Spark Early Learning, among a lot of others. It's going to be open again for pre-kindergarten through post-secondary students. The center will also feature early childhood initiatives, STEM training programs, construction trade programs, arts, athletics, and a workout room. So this is the second of three repurposed former schools opening this year. So in the spring, the one-time Todd Elementary School, which had been closed for 5 years, reopened as affordable apartments. And then next month, Lincoln Elementary School, which closed 15 years ago, will reopen as affordable apartments as well. So my daughter's preschool as a child is now opening up again to help pre-kindergarten through post-secondary students. So that I think is really, really cool. Diaper Drive, I said this last week. This week again, we're partnering with Fox Valley United Way for their annual diaper drive. 50% of households struggle to afford enough diapers, baby wipes, and diapers of all sizes, especially sizes 5 to 7, are needed. Consider donating and dropping off during business hours at my office. So that's a little bit of what's going on. Um, not, I mean, there's a lot that goes on from the like I could say headline news. Um, but if you want to check out some of the headlines that are going on, what is Illinois' official state pie? It is really the pumpkin pie. So as we go into fall, 2015, then Governor Bruce Rauner signed the bill making pumpkin pie the official state pie of Illinois. Now, why do we have these, you say? Well, we have these because very studious students come to us and they research these things and they propose these laws, and we think that they're fun. They are fun. I know that some people get annoyed and say you should be doing more important things. This is important. This is teaching kids about our civic system, about our government system. And this came to a state representative from a bunch of fourth graders. State pie, pumpkin pie. Um, I pretty much really like pumpkin pie myself, so I can't wait for it to start coming back into season. And then what are we at? 6 members of our farming community tried to talk to Louisiana fisherman earlier this month as he showed family photos and spoke about the shrimping business he inherited from his father and grandfather. So if y'all like the shrimping business. And then we launched a training initiative for those who help LGBTQ seniors. So it's a free training known as OutSafe is being offered in Springfield area aging, and some other areas might be able to participate in that as well. And then looking at just the headlines really quick. Uh, Not much, I mean, there's a bunch of other things, but dam removal on the Fox River, that's kind of fun. When we're looking at water quality and habitat restoration on the river, bringing it back to its natural state is always preferred, and this lowers the risk of flooding. And so we always work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineer to remove the dams along the river. The state works with them. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineer have recommended removing 9 dams along the Fox River throughout the western suburbs. So they're further studying the impacts of the dam removal, including how it would affect water levels, what sediments might be released, and the environmental analysis may take a little bit longer. But they're looking at the final decision on most of the dams in the 2025 timeframe to start removal in 2026. As you know, dams can be very, very dangerous. That swell has you know drowned a lot of people, and it's just not good for the environment overall as well. So definitely that's something that's important. So that's just a little headline news there as I looked through the headlines that popped up in my email box. So with that, have a fabulous day. Have a wonderful week, the last week of August, and we will be back next Monday. Next Monday's Labor Day, but I don't believe there's anything that would stop me from participating in a Facebook Live, but potentially, put it down as a maybe. Labor Day is a holiday and the staff is off, so I would be zooming in on my own. However, we'll leave that up. Check your email. If you're on my email list, ildistrict84.com email. Now, I'm gonna close with one thing, and I wanted to open with it, and I forgot to open with it. Myself is a member of the American Legion, and you can go to post84.com. They're having a golf outing September 5th. We still need golfers. We are partnering with the Naperville American Legion. So please go to post84.com. If you can golf on September 5th, support the veterans in our area and have a great time. Please do that. You can, again, right from the website, post84.com. So with that, take care all. Have a great day. Have a great week. And maybe you'll see me next Monday. Maybe not. It's a holiday, still up for grabs. Hope you have a great holiday, though, on Labor Day. Take care, guys.